Welcome to the Mystery Vault. There are stories that challenge science, stories that defy logic, and stories that threaten everything we believe about reality itself. But nothing compares to the case of the man who claimed he left our Earth and came back from another one. His name was never officially released. In the files he's simply called Subject 27. According to suppressed witness reports, Subject 27 vanished for exactly 6 minutes and 43 seconds inside a government research facility. But what he described upon returning could rewrite the laws of physics. He didn't experience a blackout. He didn't hallucinate. He didn't lose consciousness. He said he stepped into another version of our world, not a dream, not a vision, a physical place, another Earth with another sky, another atmosphere, and another version of humanity. His first words after reappearing were, "Everything was the same, except for the things that weren't." Before that day, the project he was part of was known as the Frequency Gate Experiment, an attempt to generate a resonance powerful enough to weaken the fabric of space-time for a fraction of a second. Scientists hoped to create a micro-distortion. Instead, they opened a doorway. Subject 27 said the moment the machine activated, the air around him thickened like liquid, the walls stretched, light bent. Sound became sharp, metallic, and in a flash he was standing in a street that looked like his own neighborhood. But wrong. The sky was darker, tinted violet. Cars moved silently, hovering inches above the ground. Buildings were covered in living vines that pulsed like veins. And people, if they were people, walked with eerie synchronization, their heads turning toward him as if they all shared one mind. He took one step back, and suddenly he was back in the lab. To him, hours had passed, but to the scientists, he was gone less than 7 minutes. His shoes were coated in a dust unknown to any earthly mineral. His pupils were dilated in a way medical staff had never seen. He kept repeating the same warning, "There are many Earths, but that one wasn't meant for us." This incident was immediately classified. Everyone involved was relocated, all footage was erased, and the project was buried deep under a new name, Dimensional Breach, Level Omega. But fragments of the report leaked, and one terrifying question remains. If Subject 27 returned from a parallel Earth, who or what followed him back? After Subject 27 was rushed into isolation, a team of analysts, neurologists, and classified observers surrounded him. But every recording device in the room malfunctioned the moment he tried to describe what he saw. Cameras glitched. Monitors flickered with static. Even the lights dimmed as if something or someone didn't want that information documented. He said that on the parallel Earth, the air vibrated with a constant low hum, a frequency that seemed to come from the ground itself. When he pressed his hand against the pavement, it felt warm, almost alive. Buildings breathed, doors opened without being touched. And every person he saw moved with a fluid, synchronized precision, their eyes glowing faintly blue like they weren't individuals but extensions of a single consciousness. The most chilling detail came when he approached a reflection on a window, where he expected to see himself. Instead, he saw another version of him, standing still, watching him with a cold, knowing stare. His reflection didn't blink, didn't move, didn't breathe. It simply raised a finger to its lips, signaling him to remain silent. That was when the sky cracked. He described it like glass shattering, revealing another layer beneath a swirling mass of dark clouds and luminous threads stretching across the horizon. People stopped walking, they froze, and slowly every one of them turned their heads toward him in perfect unison. Subject 27 ran. He didn't know if the people were warning him or hunting him. Back in the lab, scientists found something even stranger. His heart rhythm was no longer consistent with known human patterns. It pulsed in repeating geometric waves, something only seen in deep brainwave synchronization experiments. And on his forearm, a faint triangular mark appeared, glowing for seconds before fading completely. As they questioned him, one scientist asked, "Why did you come back?" Subject 27 trembled and whispered, "Because something over there noticed me, and it started following." The room fell silent. Sensors in the facility began detecting fluctuations, brief pockets of energy appearing and disappearing near Subject 27's chamber. One technician swore he saw a silhouette behind the reinforced glass, a figure shaped like a human, but wrong. Too tall, too still, as if reality itself was struggling to keep it contained. The project directors issued an immediate lockdown. Something had crossed the threshold, and they feared it wasn't alone. The hours after Subject 27 returned were the most active the facility had ever recorded. Instruments designed to detect electromagnetic fluctuations began spiking into impossible ranges. Infrared cameras captured fleeting shadows, thin, elongated figures standing perfectly still, as if waiting for something. Motion sensors triggered with no visible movement, and the temperature in the isolation wing dropped 7 degrees in 3 seconds. Scientists soon noticed a disturbing pattern. Every time Subject 27's emotional state shifted, fear, confusion, panic, the fluctuations intensified. It was as if something on the other side was linked to him, resonating through his mind like an invisible thread. During a neurological scan, the machines detected bursts of activity in parts of the brain typically unreachable without deep meditation or coma states. His brainwaves weren't just abnormal, they displayed a second pattern, faint but unmistakable, like another consciousness flickering inside him for milliseconds at a time. Subject 27 begged the team to turn off the lights. He said the shadows were trying to shape themselves, and he didn't want to see their faces. When questioned about what followed him, he gave an answer the observers would never forget. It wasn't a person, it wasn't alive, it was the world itself. He described the parallel Earth as a place where consciousness wasn't contained inside individuals. Everything, people, buildings, sky, seemed connected in a single living system. And when he entered that world, the system noticed a presence that didn't belong. He wasn't just an intruder, he was an anomaly, and anomalies get attended to. According to Subject 27, the moment he tried to leave, a wave of synchronized motion rippled through the population. Every figure on the street turned toward him, their eyes glowing brighter, their steps aligning perfectly, like predators sharing one mind found their prey. The last thing he saw before the portal snapped shut behind him was a shape rising from the violet clouds, something enormous, humanoid, but made of shifting geometric patterns. He said it looked like a god made of broken glass. In the facility, the disturbances escalated. Objects vibrated violently. Steel doors groaned as if pushed from the inside. Deep, low-frequency hums, similar to what Subject 27 heard in the other world, began echoing through the building. Then the surveillance team caught something impossible. A figure appeared at the end of the hallway near the isolation chamber, tall, still, glimmering faintly blue, but the cameras showed nothing there. To the naked eye, the hall was empty. To the sensors, it was occupied. Security evacuated 2 wings of the complex. Lead scientists demanded Subject 27 be sedated. But every time they tried, the needle bent unnaturally, like the air around him distorted physical force. And then Subject 27's heart monitor flatlined, not because he died, but because 2 rhythms appeared on the screen, his heartbeat and something else's, something that didn't belong here. Subject 27's dual heartbeat wasn't a malfunction, it was a confirmation. Something from the parallel Earth had attached itself to him, not physically, but through resonance, like a frequency woven into his consciousness. When he regained awareness, he wasn't the same. His eyes moved with unnatural precision, tracking sounds no one else could hear. He spoke slowly, deliberately, as though measuring every word. "It's here," he whispered. "Not fully, not yet, but it's learning how to cross." The lights in the room flickered violently. A deep hum vibrated through the facility, causing every metal surface to tremble. Security cameras caught glimpses, just for a frame of tall geometric silhouettes flickering behind him, translucent yet disturbingly humanoid. Scientists realized the unthinkable. The parallel Earth wasn't just another world. It was a connected consciousness, one that had detected our universe like a weak signal and was now tuning in. Subject 27 begged them to shut down every machine. He said the resonance was acting like a bridge, calling something from the other side. But before they could act, every screen in the lab lit up simultaneously, displaying not data, but the same violet clouds he had described. Then came the message, not spoken, not written, transmitted directly into the minds of everyone present. You opened the door, panic erupted, technicians collapsed, doors locked by themselves. The hum grew so intense that glass shattered across the building. Subject 27 stood completely still. His shadow stretched across the floor, bending impossibly, forming jagged patterns like the figure he had seen in the parallel sky. He spoke in two voices at once, his own and another, layered beneath. They don't want our world, they want our connection. Before anyone could approach him, alarms blared. The energy spikes vanished, the silhouettes dissolved, and Subject 27 collapsed, heartbeat returning to normal as if nothing had happened. When he awoke, he remembered nothing. The government erased the facility, relocated the staff, and sealed the entire project under a new classification: Dimensional Containment Event, Non-Terrestrial Consciousness. But the report ends with one final note, written by the lead scientist before disappearing. If they can see us, someday, they will reach us. And Subject 27? He vanished months later, without a trace. Some say he went back. Others believe he never truly returned. If this story shook you, imagine what else they're hiding. Subscribe to the Mystery Vault and uncover the forbidden truths.